Hi and Assalamualaikum everybody. So today our group we will be presenting about ELT methodology, principle and practice for beginners student. So here, as you guys can see from the slide, here are our group members. So hi, I'm Haini. I am the one that in charge to talk about the introduction of ELT. So before we go into our main topic, let us first understand what does ELT methodology means. So ELT stands for English Language Teaching. It is about teaching and learning the English language. While for methodology means the way or approach that teacher used to teach English. In simple words, ELT methodology is about how teachers teach English to help students learn effectively and use the language correctly. Now, let us move on to the main part of our presentation.
Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about one important principle of ELT that I found in the book, that teaching strategies should consider the learners and the learning situation. In my own words or my thoughts, I think this means that teachers should not use the same teaching method for every student. We need to look at who our learners and what they need. For example, if we are teaching young children, we should not use the same method. So instead of making them sit and read for a long time, we can include some games like songs, stories, or even the physical activities to keep them interested. For me, this principle is important because every learning is different. As teachers, we need to be flexible and choose activities that actually suit our student rather than just following one method all the time. That's all for me. I will pass to my friends about teacher roles.
For my part, I will talk about teacher's role to teach a beginner student. First, teachers can be facilitators. They will guide students through varied activities and encourage active participation in classroom or non-classroom. Second is as an organizer. Teacher will plan a variety of activities to maintain people's attention and meet their needs. Like when the students is weaker than others, she will build another activities to meet their needs. Third is provider of scaffolding, which is scaffolding. Teachers will use visual, auditory, and physical support to help pupils understand the lesson or the word. Next, I will talk about classroom example. First is flash word activity. Teacher shows a word card, for example, door. She will say the word out loud and stick it on the door. So whenever the students come in the class, they will find the word and try to pronounce it, and they will remember it in no time. Second is word bingo. Student will receive bingo card with target words. For example, animal topic, teacher will call out a word and student have to mark the words and have to find the words in the card. The first to complete a row says bingo. So in no time, the student will remember the word and also know what is the meaning of the word. Thank you. That's all from me.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Erisha Natasha binti Muhammad Nasir. So I'm going to explain about key teaching methods for beginners that we have found in the book. Right, so the first one is communicative language teaching, CLT. Right, so in CLT, we focus on functional communication instead of memorization. And the second one, it teaches language through real life scenarios. And the last one is it uses pair or group work. Right, so the second one is task-based language learning, TBLL. Students are going to complete real tasks rather than grammar worksheet. It has three processes, which are pre-task, task, and also post-task review. And the last one is total physical response, TPR. Teachers give simple verbal comments and show the action. Alright, so the second one is practical strategies. So we use flashcards, real objects, and also gestures to show meaning. We provide sentence frames and substitution tables to guide early speech. The third one is we move step by step from controlled practice to free practice. And the last one, we teach listening and speaking first before adding simple reading and writing tasks. That's all from me. Thanks.
Hi guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Jabbar. So today I'm going to explain about learner-centered teaching. So what is learner-centered teaching? Basically, this is a teaching approach that focuses on the student's needs, interests, abilities, and learning experiences. Instead of the teacher doing most of the talking, students are encouraged to take an active role in their own learning. There are several key characteristics of learner-centered teaching. First, it is student-focused, meaning students are placed at the center of the learning process. Second, it encourages interaction and collaboration, where students communicate and work with their classmates. It also involves active learning, where students learn by doing activities, thinking, discussing, and solving problems. In this approach, the teacher acts more as a facilitator or guide rather than simply giving information. So, how are students actively involved? For example, students can participate in discussions, group activities, problem-solving tasks, and presentations, as they can also share their own ideas, opinions, and experiences. This allows students to take more responsibility for their learning. For example, instead of the teacher explaining a topic for the whole lesson, the teacher could give students a problem to discuss in groups, as the students can come up with their own ideas and present their answers, while the teacher guides and supports them. Overall, learner-centered teaching makes students more active, independent, and involved in the learning process. So that's all from me.
Hi, my name is Wan Sofia Alia binti Jeffrey, and I will be presenting the conclusion of our topic, Effective English Language Teaching (ELT) for beginners students relies on shifting away from traditional lecturing toward a dynamic, learner-centered environment that prioritizes practical communication. By adopting roles as facilitators and scaffolders, teachers can tailor their instruction to match students' age, abilities, and attention spans using interactive methodologies like communicative language teaching (CLT), task-based language learning (TBLL), and total physical response (TPR. Ultimately, integrating engaging classroom activities such as role plays, flashcards exercise, and collaborative task bridges the gap between theory and practice, enabling young learners to build confidence and gradually progress towards independent language use. So that's all from us. Thank you.